Hey everybody, hope and pray that you're doing well today. So we come to our word from the word. And today that word is timing. Timing. I know many times we often question the timing of God and what He would have us to do, when He would have us to do it, and it is a struggle. On this side of eternity, right? Not knowing we have these finite minds, and sometimes it is very difficult for us to understand Romans 8:28 that God works all things together for good for those who love Him and are the called according to His purpose. And so I just think about that, right? Is man, do we really understand the timing of God? Not always. But do we always trust the timing of God? And see, I think that we can do that and still be unsure, right? I can trust the timing of God and still be unsure as to what He's going to do, but I just know that He's going to do something, that His will be accomplished. Now, we see that here it's not so much a prayer, but it's a picture of that presence of God, kind of what we talked about yesterday in that telling that after Moses was spending time with God, that you could see, physically see on his face that he had spent time with God. But here at the end of Exodus today, Exodus chapter 40, we're actually going to look at the closing verses of this book. And the meantime, I mean, we left off in chapter 34, and so now we've gone all the way to chapter 40, and I pray you would encourage you to read that in between. And it's talking about the great and wonderful details of the tabernacle and how it was all put together, and the massive amounts of gold and silver and bronze and things that they used, and I mean, even to one point that the people were donating so much stuff and offering so much that they had to say, "Stop, we have enough. We have more than enough." And that the people had the right hearts and right attitudes, and they were excited about doing the will of God. And over you see that they did according to what God had told them. And right here before what we're going to read today, we see that as the tabernacle is completed, and that God, the Holy Spirit, the cloud would come down and settle in over the tabernacle, and feel the presence of God would fill the tabernacle. And this is the time to which the people paid attention. We see right before this that it says that Moses did all that he was instructed. He had finished the task. God came down, settled down, and then here's what it says in verse 36. Exodus chapter 40, verses 36 through 38 it says, "Whenever the cloud was taken up from above the tabernacle, the children of Israel would go onward in all their journeys." And he's talking about through the course of their journey, wilderness journeys. Verse 37, "But if the cloud was not taken up, then they did not journey till the day that it was taken up. For the cloud of the Lord was above the tabernacle by day, and fire was over it by night, in the sight of all the house of Israel throughout all their journeys." Now, to me, this is the timing aspect that I want to look at. Is you notice that when the presence of God, when the cloud had settled in on the tabernacle, the people didn't go anywhere. They didn't journey. They didn't pack up everything. Remember, this is a mobile tabernacle, so they would pack it all up and move on to the next place, set the tabernacle back up, and then His presence would come back and settle back in. Now He's still leading them by cloud and leading them by fire, but when He would settle in, they didn't move. And I've seen this even in personal Bible study, and I pray that you have as well. That there's those times where you say, "Well, I don't really have time to read." Say maybe you got 15 minutes to read, 15 minutes to do a little study, or a half hour, whatever the case may be. And you say, "Okay," well then you get in there and I can't leave just yet. I can't leave just yet. God is trying to show me something. And I pray if you ever feel that you just can't leave, I want to encourage you and tell you that if you feel that, then obey it and stick around. Trust the timing of God. Because in my experience, this is just personal experience. Every time that I felt that and I was obedient to it, I can't say I was obedient every time, but every time that I was obedient, God showed Himself. God would reveal something that I wasn't even really looking for. I mean, it may have been that I was, studying for something else or just reading in quiet time, and God I stuck around a little longer and God revealed a sermon series to me. That has happened. And maybe it's been even those words that you need to give to somebody else. Well, whatever the case may be, I can't tell you what it would personally be for you because only God knows. But what I can tell you is that if you will take the time to spend time with God, to enjoy when the cloud has essentially settled in, when the glory of the Lord has filled the tabernacle, when you've been in the presence of God, right? First, we've got to get there. Right? We've got to get there to our time of prayer, to our time of being in His Word, to the time where we desire to come into His presence. We desire to be filled. This is Old Testament that we're talking about, but here in New Testament, this side of the cross and this side of the empty grave and this side of Pentecost and the indwelling of the Holy Spirit, we are filled and indwelt with the Spirit at a conversion, but we can have these refillings and fillings of the Holy Spirit that will bring us back closer into that relationship with God, where He can reveal Himself in ways that we didn't think were possible. But see, in those moments, He can give us the words to say. Sometimes if we'll just stick around a little longer, if we'll just trust His timing. So today, whatever the case may be, I pray as always that these videos will just be a help to your quiet time, that it will maybe be a jump start for you to maybe think about, that God would reveal a question or something that maybe He's asking you or something He's convicting you about. But my challenge for you today is just simply spend time with God in His Word, in prayer time alone. And at any point in time when you feel God saying, just stay a little longer. Just a little longer. There's something else I want to tell you. Then I pray that you would just be obedient and trust His timing. God bless you, and I pray you have a great, great day.